If you stay until the end, you'll see how a dance between two broken hearts changed not just their lives, but everyone watching. This is a story about pain, hope, and the kind of miracle you'll never forget. The air was cold that evening. New York City's towering skyline glistened above, yet down on the streets, shadows stretched long and heavy. Among them walked Zaria, a 17-year-old girl with no home, no family, and nothing but a pair of scuffed-up sneakers and a tattered backpack holding her only possessions, a few granola bars, a water bottle, and a crumpled photo of her mom before cancer took her away. Zaria used to dance. Her mother had once said she could feel the rhythm of the universe in her bones. But after her mom passed and her foster placements kept failing, dance became something she buried deep under hunger, survival, and street noise. Until that night. It was late, and Zaria had just been chased off a subway platform by a security guard. Her stomach growled. She hadn't eaten in a day. She wandered into Central Park, drawn by faint music echoing through the trees. At first, she thought she imagined it, a soft piano melody, gentle and pure. Then she saw them. Under the park's pavilion lights was a grand piano, shiny, black, too expensive for a street setting. Sitting beside it, in a custom-built wheelchair, was Noah Lancaster, the 19-year-old son of billionaire tech mogul Elliot Lancaster. Noah was paralyzed from the waist down after a skiing accident 2 years prior. Since then, he'd barely spoken a word. His days were a blur of therapies, nurse visits, and silence. But that night, he played. Not for an audience, not for anyone else. Just for himself. Or so he thought. Zaria, barefoot now, drawn like a moth to the flame, stepped forward. The music coursed through her like lightning. She hadn't danced in over a year, but something about the melody cracked her open. Slowly, unsure at first, she began to move. Noah looked up. For a moment, his hands faltered. A homeless girl was dancing in front of him. She didn't know who he was. Didn't care. She just danced. Zaria twirled under the stars, leaping like her soul weighed nothing. Her movements weren't polished. Her hoodie flared with each turn, her jeans baggy and worn, but her feet knew what to do. Noah kept playing, instinctively matching her steps with new chords, richer notes, as if her body wrote the music he didn't know he had in him. For 5 minutes, they weren't a homeless girl and a billionaire's son. They were just music and movement. When the final note faded, silence hung like morning fog. Zaria froze, suddenly self-aware. What had she done? She backed away, eyes wide. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I heard the music. Noah didn't answer. He stared at her, lips slightly parted. Then he smiled. That moment sparked something neither of them saw coming. The next day, Zaria returned. She didn't expect him to be there. But he was, waiting. This time, she brought nothing but a tiny, nervous smile. You came back, he said. His voice was soft, a bit rusty. He hadn't used it in months. They talked. Slowly. Carefully. Zaria told him about her mom, about the shelters, about how she danced to forget she was hungry. Noah told her about the accident. About how he'd once dreamed of playing piano in front of thousands. But after the crash, even music felt like a betrayal. But dancing with Zaria, something had shifted. Every night after that, they met in the park. Word began to spread. A few people stopped to watch. Then a few more. Soon, local vloggers and TikTokers caught wind of the unlikely pair, a wheelchair-bound boy playing haunting melodies, and a homeless girl dancing like she was made of wind and fire. And then came the hate. Online trolls called Zaria a gold digger, nobody trying to scam a rich boy. Paparazzi started following Noah. Reporters hounded Zaria for her story. One night, someone from a shelter recognized her and tried to forcibly take her back into the system. Noah's father, Elliot Lancaster, had had enough. He confronted Zaria in person. Tall, powerful, dressed in a custom suit, he stood in front of her, arms crossed. "You're using him," he said. "Stay away from my son." Zaria, with tears stinging her eyes, didn't argue. She simply said, "He was alone. So was I. We made something beautiful." She left. Noah was devastated. For 2 days, he didn't play. Refused to eat. Then, live on his father's company broadcast, where Elliot was supposed to announce a major charity initiative, Noah wheeled himself onto the stage. He faced the cameras and said, "You want to help people, Dad? Then help her. You think I need protecting? I don't. I need Zaria. She reminded me I'm still alive." The video went viral. That night, something incredible happened. Zaria was invited back. Elliot personally apologized. He admitted that money had blinded him to the purity of his son's healing. And then, the miracle. Doctors had long said Noah would never regain feeling below his waist. But that week, during another music session with Zaria dancing around him, Noah twitched. Once. Then again. His doctors were stunned. 3 months later, Noah stood. Wobbly, shaky, holding onto parallel bars, but he stood. The videos of his first steps, with Zaria by his side, hand in hand, sent the internet into tears. They began to speak at schools, shelters, and hospitals. Noah created a foundation for disabled artists. Zaria opened a youth dance center for kids in the foster system. And every year on that same night in Central Park, they return. Just the two of them. He plays. She dances. Because in a world that tried to define them by what they lacked, they found each other in the music. And in that, they found everything. So if you ever feel lost, broken, or unseen, remember this. Sometimes the miracle you're waiting for is already dancing its way toward you.